They drafted a generational quarterback, hired the most sought-after offensive guru of this era, and they still suck. Not winning a playoff game since Caleb Williams was 9 years old, the Chicago Bears are the NFL's most cursed team. And I know that the fans can't take it anymore. But that all changes today as yours truly takes over the reins, and we're not stopping until we bring the Chicago Bears franchise a Lombardi trophy. It's not going to be easy though, because this team has a ton of holes. And before we start our first season, there's actually a lot of decisions that I do need to make as the new head coach. First thing, I am going to force a loss the first 2 weeks of the season. At the time I'm recording this, the Bears are 0-2, so I'm going to force a loss against the Vikings and force a loss against the Lions. So the odds we actually win the Super Bowl this first season is probably slim to none. And also, we need to make some pretty tough decisions about this lineup. So we'll probably start things off by simulating to the trade deadline and see if we're still in the playoff hunt by that point. Because if we're out of things, there are a few older players that I wouldn't mind trading away for draft picks, like Kevin Byard. Like, there's no point in keeping him if we can get something for him. Maybe DeAndre Swift, and heck, dude, maybe go ahead and get rid of DJ Moore while we can. Even Cole Kmet is a guy I wouldn't mind looking at. I don't know what his contract situation looks like. He still has 3 years left in his deal, so he would take a pretty hefty penalty probably. But like, we drafted Colston Loveland for a reason, so we might as well let him get some playing time. And Swift, if we end up trading him away, only has 2 years remaining on his contract, so he wouldn't take the worst of penalties. And the elephant in the room is none other than quarterback Caleb Williams. Only in his sophomore campaign, comes in as a 75 overall. I have faith in Caleb, especially with me as head coach. I mean, obviously his career hasn't got off to the greatest of starts as he was sacked 68 times last year, but I do think he's the guy that could be our starter until we win a Super Bowl. I mean, the game says he's our quarterback of the future, but I think he's our quarterback of the now. Now, for my long-term vision of the team, positions that we desperately need to upgrade, starting with the offensive line. Absolutely have got to get a better left tackle here than Braxton Jones, only a 75 overall at the age of 26, so he's probably going to cap out maybe at an 80. We could use a better center, better right guard, and eventually we are going to need ourselves a star running back. Going to need a long-term option at free safety, and honestly, literally every single position in the front seven could be upgraded. Like, the only players I feel like we kind of have locked down long-term, at least on defense, is probably strong safety and Jaquan Brisker, Jalen Johnson, and maybe Kyler Gordon. I love myself some Jaquan Brisker, but the only problem is, dude, if I'm not mistaken, he is on the last year of his rookie contract, so we do need to try our best to lock him down long-term. If not, I'll be depressed. And the goal is to win a Super Bowl before we have to give Caleb Williams a long-term contract extension. Because if we have to try and build a team around him after we give him a huge extension, we're gonna be screwed. But before things get too crazy, I do want to scour free agency and see if there's anybody that makes sense here. And the one guy that kind of does is maybe Trent Brown here. I mean, he's just sitting here as an 84 overall right tackle. I mean, he's only 32, so maybe he could at least start for a few years for us. So Trent Brown, welcome to Chicago. Now, the other relatively big problem that I'm noticing is the fact they gave out some pretty big contracts to some pretty mid offensive linemen. Even Montez Sweat here, who's only an 81 overall, is locked in for $25 million a season for the next 3 years. So this is going to be an interesting rebuild, boys. Our cap situation is kind of nasty. Especially when you consider we're only an 82 overall team, dude. So all things considered, this actually might end up my trickiest rebuild of Madden 26. But it would be pure negligence as head coach if I didn't start things off by trying to make Caleb Williams a little bit better. Oh, we got gold, thank God. Came right down to the wire, but let's see if we can get lucky to start things off and get a dev trait increase. That would be an incredible start to the rebuild, and we end up with just a skill point boost. But hey, we'll take everything we can get right now. Now with that, we're gonna go ahead and simulate to the trade deadline and see if we're going to be buyers or sellers. Probably the latter. Fellas, I think it's time to trade some players. What in the world, dude? A close loss to the Cowboys at least, another close loss to the Raiders, a close win against the Commanders, and a close loss against the Saints. Kind of crazy, because like we very easily could have won all those games, but at the same time, could very easily be winless. Now, before we try any crazy trades, let's see if we can lock down some extensions. Beginning our negotiations with Jaquan Brisker here, who thankfully is very interested in re-signing. So hopefully I can just go ahead and lock him down to like a 5-year extension. I might even be able to get away with a little cheap offer, and Jaquan's gonna re-sign. Thank you. Now outside of that, Braxton Jones, honestly, I might just try to trade him away here at the deadline. Devin Duvernay, maybe same thing with him. Now Trent Brown, I do want to try and re-sign him because we could use him for the next 2 seasons, although I have 0 cap space to do so. That's not good. So boys, do I literally just go and trade away all of these guys and try to get something in return? We really might be screwed. Screw it, man. Let's do it and see who in the world we can get in return. Kevin Byard, you are going to be our first trade. You know what? As a lifelong Titans fan, I'd like to see you win a ring, so maybe we can trade you to a contender. Let's see what offers we can get for him. The offers aren't anything too crazy, but like at the same time, he is 32, so I'm not expecting too much. And trading some of these players away, I am looking for draft picks, but at the same time, if we can upgrade some of the offensive line positions, if we could upgrade at running back, and in the front 7, I will definitely take the opportunity to do so. What we do need to do though is make sure we negotiate with one of these 3 teams, because the teams that send an offer for a particular player are always the ones you can get the most from in return. So what could we possibly get from the Browns? I mean, like JOK would be fantastic, and he is a scheme fit for us. So how close would this be to being accepted? Actually, pretty gosh dang close. Like again, if we can lock in long-term starters, that would be beautiful. Another player that I am looking to go ahead and ship on is Devin Duvernay here. So let's see how much closer this makes the deal. It is in the freaking green, dude. What in the world is going on right now? So what about an Andrew Billings, who's also on an expiring contract? Submit this through. It is super close. So like, I didn't want to trade away draft picks, but hey, if we can acquire a player of JOK's caliber, I will 100% be willing to part ways with a late pick. So what about like a 2027 6th-round selection? Still declined. Let's just make it like a 2028 5th. Call it a day. Let's welcome our brand new starting will linebacker to the Chicago Bears. I mean, crazy I'm trying to be a seller right now. We're actually making the team better. Yeah, we kind of suck at free safety now, but we'll be fine. Now, like, does that mean I could possibly ship on TJ Edwards here? He's about to go down in overall. I don't know what his contract situation is looking like. It might be at the point where we just need to take the penalties if we can, you know, make the team better long term, or at least save money. So he's got kind of a cheap contract. I don't think it'd be the worst penalty. Like I said, he's gonna be 30 this offseason, so his overall is gonna go down and down every year from now on out. So maybe try to get something for him. But we're actually getting some half decent offers here, like nothing I'll probably take. Like the Falcons are offering me a pretty decent package, so maybe I can get like maybe a 3rd-round pick from them. I say that, and at the same time, the Bengals are like the only team in the league that are actually interested in them. So maybe here I try to get like a 2nd-round pick and see if this is possible, and it is very, very close, my friends. Oh, this is about to be crazy, dude. Like maybe we could throw in a Nick McLeod, and maybe Simone Biles' boyfriend, because Jonathan Owens is on a 1-year deal himself. Maybe we could also sneak in a little 5th-round pick. Trade still declined. Let's take that out, submit it through. Trade is accepted. We pick up an extra 2nd-round pick, which is going to be massive for us. And brother, we are just getting started. Since we can't re-sign them, might as well trade them away. What offers are we going to get though? The Browns do not want Martin Emerson for some reason. Jack Mason, Najee Harris is an interesting one. Like, could he be our long-term option at running back? We'll have to come back to that. Anything better than that? I mean, the Commanders are offering me a 3rd-round pick. That actually is pretty freaking enticing. Don't want D-Hop. Don't want Rashid Shaheed. I mean, since the Commanders are offering me a 3rd-round pick, maybe we get something decent in return, like maybe an actual long-term starter. But unfortunately, there actually is nobody whatsoever that I feel like fits the long-term need of this team. So maybe we do just try and get a draft pick here. They don't have their 2nd, which is unfortunate. So maybe we try to get their 3rd from this year. And I mean, maybe we could pick up a player, like, I don't know, how far off from a Jerzon Newton are we? This would be an insane deal, and it's about halfway. So we need to take him out. I don't know, maybe pick up a 5. What is this looking like? Trade was accepted. So I'm kind of sad because I feel like we got more, but I'm still okay with this. Now, next move, do I go ahead and trade away DeAndre Swift? Okay, I gotta know, Browns, like, what's up with this guy? Like, why do they just so desperately want to get rid of him? Now, the only team out there actually interested is none other than the Commanders. We obviously just made a deal with, but maybe we can get something in return, although there's really no players that I want. Maybe Trey Amos as a 3rd corner. Like, that's the only other player I could possibly think of that we'd want, and it's actually pretty close to being accepted. I mean, if we can land him, I don't think we'll need another cornerback the rest of this rebuild. I mean, since we're also going to be losing Zacchaeus in the offseason, might as well throw him in. And then I guess just screw it, dude. Get rid of all the players on 1-year deals. See if this is enough for Trey Amos, and it's not. I actually do need a right edge. We could throw in Dominique Robinson instead, and I don't think it moved. Could throw in a couple late round picks potentially, and it still declined. How about a 5th instead? Still declined, but we are getting somewhere. If we throw in a couple 7th round picks, is this enough? Like, brother, are we being serious? Can we just please quit playing games here, Washington? Thank you. So we shouldn't have to worry about cornerback again for at least the next 3 seasons. Now, the only other player that I really wanted to trade away here was Braxton Jones, which the 2 offers that we have for him suck. Now, I will say, I know you guys are all about realism, and one of the things that I saw is on the trade block. If you go to the running back position, we could replace DeAndre Swift with Tajay Spears here, and the Titans do need a left tackle, but I will only do this if this is a straight up swap. So I'm really not expecting much, and it is actually so freaking close to being accepted. I mean, Tajay could potentially be our long-term running back. I feel like this would be a good move. I feel like we can throw in an extra Pringles can, and fellas, we're golden. Not really what I expected, but I'm here for it. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but at least I thought it was a pretty productive trade deadline. Got our potential long-term option of running back, a will linebacker, and at our 3rd cornerback spot. And also with the moves we made, now we can have our young left tackle get a little bit of playing time. At the same time, let's go ahead and make Colston Loveland the starter, which maybe, just maybe, will free up the possibility of trading Cole Kmet next season. I mean, obviously, still a ton of work to be done to this team, dude, but I feel like we just made a pretty good stride forward. But I do now need to sign some free agents to fill out this roster, so preferably, I want to go after targets that don't already have grandchildren. Like, I feel like BJ Ojulari with his star development would be a pretty decent signing. Maybe even Jonathan Mingo for wide receiver depth. Ooh, maybe Miles Murphy, the former 1st round pick. We do need another running back to fill out the roster, so why not old Isaiah Spiller here? We do need a new starting free safety for the rest of the season, so why not go after, I don't know, Jalen Mills? We'll sign a few decent offensive tackles for depth purposes. Screw it, dude. Let's bring in Sky Moore. And also, dude, screw it. Let's bring in Joe freaking Flacco. And I guess Malachi Corley, because why the heck not? As we finally got our roster back up to 53. So I think this team is now officially ready to roll. Let's hope to God they don't win another game the rest of the season. Which, hold on a second, we do need to check which draft pick do we currently hold? The 6th pick. Hopefully we finish with the worst record so we can pick number 1. Come on, 1-16, please, dear God. Or just ruin my day with a 5-12 record. Goodness gracious, dude, what pick did that give us? Wait, we got pick 3, not too shabby. Which the latest mock draft actually has us going right edge, which is definitely a need for us. So we ended up beating the Giants, beating the Steelers, absolutely demolished the Browns, and then beat a really good Lions team in week 18. Jesus, dude, are the Browns really that bad? I mean, our offense actually wasn't that bad. It must have been our defense, which finished top 10? So how do we only win 5 games? So Caleb Williams actually had a really good season. 4,200 yards, 31 touchdowns, only 13 picks, which you could say this says more about the Bears franchise, but those numbers were good enough to break both single season passing records in Bears history. And hold on a second, it looks like we had another single season record broken. We'll see his full stats in just a second. How about Tajay, his 1st season as a Bear? I mean, in about a half a year's work, that's not terrible. We would definitely like to see him average more than 4 yards a carry. Now let's see, Roma Dunze, what a freaking season, brother. 91 grabs, almost 1,500 yards, and 16 touchdowns. Talk about a breakout campaign with Luther Burden as a rookie also putting up really good numbers. Like I said, dude, is DJ Moore really worth the money that we're paying him, especially when these guys in the rookie contracts are putting up these numbers? Like, even the game says he's a trade target. And also, a little bit disappointed in Colston Loveland's numbers, as he only put up 350 yards, 3 touchdowns. Oh my god, dude. Ozzie, in a half a season, allowed 17 sacks. I think it's safe to say Ozzie won't be starting for us any longer, unless we want Caleb dead. Now, defensively, JOK, exactly why we traded for him, led the team almost 160 total tackles, all while Grady Jarrett with 12 sacks, Montez Sweat with 10.5. This guy, who I hope we replace with 7. Let's see, Michael Penix, by the way, wins league MVP. Caleb did not come in the top 10. Isaiah Pacheco wins Offensive Player of the Year, while on our side, it goes to Ray McCloud, by the way. Did Heaven Rome come in 5th, though? I mean, I feel like that's a good season, but is that really Offensive Player of the Year worthy? I guess he did have a pretty decent season through the air. I just gotta see, what did Ray McCloud do? Like, what is this? Like, what are we doing? Now, I know it includes the morale boost and everything, but I find it promising. Even after the bad season, the team is now up to an 86 overall, then 87 87 offense and 85 defense. I mean, we got Caleb, dude, all the way up to an 86 overall. I don't know how after we only won 5 games, he goes up 11 overall in one season, but brother, I am not complaining. I mean, he's now the 13th ranked quarterback in football. Even have Tajay up to an 83, which I don't know if that's good enough for him to be our long-term starter, but maybe. Which, if anything, he'll at least be on the team the next 2 seasons. Now, Rome, after his breakout year, is up to an 87. So I think it's safe to say that Caleb has now found his new wide receiver 1. And Luther is up to an 81. We can work with that. Defensively, some pretty good progression, too. We have Jalen Johnson up to a 90 overall, which I believe is the highest rated player on the entire team. Oh, outside of Joe Thuney, who's up to a 94. JOK was such a big addition, dude, now up to an 86. And Jaquan Brisker, who we locked down, up to an 85. So even though we only won 5 games, I have to say, dude, I feel like this season was a good step in the right direction. Just give me one true offseason to cook here, boys. Now, after this Bills-Seahawks Super Bowl, I do want to see if we get any dev trade increases, which could be huge for this franchise moving forward. Dude, if the Seahawks can win the Super Bowl, so can the Bears. And unfortunately, fellas, some bad news. Before we get any further, as you see, we have negative $27 million in salary cap. So I really don't know if we're going to be able to do anything in free agency. But first, let's see if we can turn our frowns upside down, see if we have any dev trade increases. Okay, we had Roma Dunze go up to X Factor, so we will gladly take that, but nothing else though on offense. How about defensively? I don't think anything happened. Maybe Noah Sewell went up to star. Am I tripping? I'm not. He did go up to star. Good for you. Oh wait, so did this guy. He also went up to star. So hopefully this team can do good for us next year, because it's not going to look much different, you know, since we have no money to spend. Wait, did we lose anybody to free agency here? We lost our long snapper and Case Keenum. Now the problem, fellas, is that I am not going to be able to re-sign any of these guys that we signed during the season. Like, I wouldn't have mind signing a BJ Ojolari to a long-term deal to be a good depth piece for us, but we literally cannot afford it. So thanks for your half a season, boys. Now the one thing that we can do is accept Darnell Wright's 5th-year option, which I think I will do. It'll cost us like $15 million. If we were going to re-sign him anyway, he'd probably cost more than that, so I don't really mind doing this. Now what I'm wondering here is, since we already have negative salary cap and we're not going to be able to sign anybody, we should be able to trade players since it's the off season. Let me go to free agency, because sometimes weird things happen with the salary cap and nothing happened. We have the same exact amount. So I'm wondering if it would be worth it to go ahead and trade away the players I wanted to trade away anyway, and go ahead and take on their penalties, since we're not going to be able to pick up anybody in free agency anyway. Like I said, one of the players I was thinking about was DJ Moore here. Like, it would be a huge salary cap relief. We would take a penalty, so we wouldn't really gain anything this year, but we would for the future. Also was thinking of Cole Kmet. And honestly, dude, Jonah Jackson, like a $25 million cap hit for a 77 rated right guard is crazy. And also, dude, like Montez Sweat, like for his production, $25 million cap hit is kind of crazy. So like, should I just go ahead and go into next season with a clean slate? So many decisions to make here, boys. Let's go one by one here and see what we can get for DJ Moore. Now, to be fair, Braden Fisk would be pretty freaking crazy. Now, the bad thing is, because Madden's a dumb game built by a dumb billion-dollar company, since we have negative salary cap, we can't bring in any player, even if I gain salary cap in the deal. So if I trade it this way, I think I can only acquire draft picks. But if I trade this way, maybe I can actually pick up a player. But like, would a Landon Jackson be worth it? Would a Braden Fisk be worth it? Maybe this would be worth it, because if I picked up Landon Jackson, that could be my Montez Sweat replacement. That could trade him away for draft picks and have Landon Jackson for a lot cheaper, who's the same overall. So let me see. Will the game even let me? No, it won't. Oh, that's so dumb. That's so stupid. But what if I went ahead and trade away Jonah Jackson first? Does anybody even want him? Is there just one team out there? Oh yeah, there was. Who was that? The Giants are dumb enough to want to pick him up, but they can't afford it either. Oh, I hate it. What would the Browns give me for him? Would the Browns so happen give me a 2nd round pick? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. God, this game is so stupid. Like, what do you mean, dude? I'm trying to fix the situation here. So the only thing I can think of doing here is maybe trading away 2 of those players at once, like DJ Moore and Jonah Jackson. But now the Bills can't afford it. God, dude. How about you just give me Greg Rousseau here and we call it even? It still doesn't work. So the Rams want Cole Kmet, and they can actually afford this. So maybe we have found ourselves a suitor. What are the odds we could land Cameron Kitchens? Like, he could be our long-term free safety for 2 players I want to get rid of for cap purposes anyway. Why do I feel like this is going to work and I'm going to feel like a mad genius? Brother, that is so freaking close. Let's throw in one of these 500 cornerbacks that I have. And fellas, it is official. Cameron Kitchens, the new starting free safety of your Chicago Bears. Goodness gracious, dude, that came out of nowhere. Now we should be able to do the crazy one, DJ Moore. Potentially moving along here to the Buffalo Bills. If and only if they still are willing to give me Landon Jackson, maybe also give me a 2nd round pick out of it. Like, why do I feel like I could get more? Like, I'm just gonna try there first. Let's just see what happens here. And it is so close to being accepted. So if we throw in like a Roschon Johnson, I feel like it'd be a good asset in Buffalo. Maybe like our 6th round selection. Oh, brother, it is so freaking close, man. Do I try a 4th? Do I throw in a 4th round pick? It was worth it, dude. We bring in Landon Jackson and a 1st round pick for a DJ Moore, Roschon Johnson, and a 4th rounder. Hopefully this was worth it. Because like I said, dudes, that now frees us up to be able to trade on Montez Sweat, which unfortunately nobody wants. We're gonna have like $150 million in dead cap penalties, but who cares? And the Buccaneers want them. You know what? You can have them for Emeka Egbuka. How about that? It's a fair one. Why can't anybody afford anybody, man? So the Chargers want them, and they can afford them. Give me Joe Alt. Call it even. I was totally joking. Boys, I am confused. I am very, very, very confused. Did I mess up? No. Editor as my witness. Trade difficulty is on normal. I'm not even trolling you. I totally feel like that was a bug, but I am not asking questions. Like, I actually feel like I just entered a black hole or something. Like, there's no reason they should have accepted that trade for Joe Alt, man. I mean, it's not even like he's on the last year of his rookie deal. He still has 2 years left in his 5th year option. I really feel like I don't know what just happened. I'm not even trolling you when I say this is one of the most bonker trades that I have accepted in a rebuild that I genuinely did not expect to happen in probably the last 5-6 years. So I think it's safe to say that locks down the left tackle position for the rebuild. And I feel like that was really the last old player that I wanted to get rid of. Okay, maybe not. Maybe I go ahead and get rid of this Drew Dalman guy. Maybe not. He's at 81 rated, only 27 years old. I think he's fine. I mean, maybe not worth $14 million a year, but I guess at this point, dude, who cares? And again, I told you the salary cap was going to be kind of wonky. We do have -$5 million available, even though we just traded away like $100 million in cap room. Hopefully there was nobody in free agency that I wanted anyway. I mean, Travis Kelce would have been interesting. Leo would have been really nice. He's the highest rated Sam in the game. No guarantee we would have got him, but outside of that, dude, this was a pretty crappy free agency. So if there was ever going to be an off season where I couldn't sign anybody, this was a good time for that to happen. So I guess we're just going to have to make up for a lack of free agents with a solid draft class here, which I feel like we really just need to take best player available each round, but we definitely need a new offensive guard. If there's a potential superstar running back we could draft, I wouldn't mind it. We probably do need another wide receiver at this point. Wouldn't mind a high rated Sam, and also probably need a better edge rusher, which the latest mock draft has us going with Mike Portis, a cornerback. Absolutely not, dude. Like, cornerback is the deepest position on our entire team. So wish me luck, boys. Here goes nothing. Like, the first draft always sets the foundation for the entirety of the rebuild. So screwing up the first draft in a rebuild really could set us back like 3-4 seasons. Which, if it was my choice, I definitely want to go after one of these top edge rushers. Obviously, probably want to go after the #1 guy on the board, and Marcel Montague. Looks like a freaking beast out of the University of Alabama. Runs a 4.64. Yeah, he looks like a freaking stud, dudes. Which, unfortunately, he'll probably get drafted before we pick, but I also wouldn't mind this Carlos Castillo guy who's a scheme fit for us. He's a right edge. We always could convert him over. I mean, not the fastest or strongest, but had a pretty good combine. And outside of block shedding, also has some pretty decent core attributes. So I'm pretty positive that the Browns are going to take a quarterback here. So if they do, that means we at least get one of those edge rushers. I'm not going to lie. I don't know if that's a quarterback. Wait, who is this? Oh, that's the guy from Bama. Oh, no. So what are the Colts going to do here? I forget. What did that mock draft say? I thought the mock draft had the Browns going quarterback. Oh, God. Oh, if they go edge here, I'm going to be screwed. I really don't know what I would do. I'd probably trade back. Please go quarterback. Please go quarterback. Please go quarterback. I freaking beg, dude. Roger, brother, please. Okay, I'm pretty positive that's a QB. It's gotta be. If that's an edge, brother, it's not who I wanted. Yeah, Woodall. That's a quarterback, I believe. Oh, let's go. So I know the mock draft told us to go cornerback, but absolutely freaking not, dude. I believe the right pick here is Carlos Castillo, who I'll probably move over to left edge. Please, Carlos, do not be a bust. I absolutely beg. Moment of truth. Carlos comes in as the third-ranked player in the draft. Got him at 3, so a perfect pick. And the most important thing is that he comes in with hidden development, boys. So safe to say, a W start to this draft class. Oh, and I totally forgot, after that trade with the Bills, we have another first-round selection here. So, I mean, if we start off with 2 consecutive studs, we might be on our way to putting together a generational draft class. So, as mentioned earlier, I do need a third wide receiver now since we traded away DJ Moore. The only guy I'm interested in here is Javier Angulo. 6'1" lefty, by the way, out of Wisconsin. Already makes him interesting. Oh, he's not that fast. He has A catch in traffic, A medium route, B spec catch. None of the things that we've scouted looks bad. And he is a scheme fit. You know what? Screw the combine. We've seen so many players have bad combines, but end up being pretty decent. So Javier, don't be a bust, I beg. I'm gonna trust my gut here. He needs to come in as the 15th best player, boys. We get him at 31. As long as he has hidden development, boys, we are 2 for 2 with 2 studs. And with that, we should have another pick coming up here in just a second here at the beginning of the second round, which again, we have 2 more picks this round, both within the next 11 selections. Now, I've been looking all over the board, and fellas, I think this is going to be another instance where I just trust my gut. As you see, there's like no good offensive lineman left on the board, and as you guys know, we need a guard desperately. And by far, in my opinion, this Angelo Ortiz fella out of Florida is the best remaining offensive lineman in the draft. And with how few draftable linemen are left at the beginning of the second round, I think it's worth it to go ahead and reach on him here. Comes in with a pretty insane combine, putting up 39 reps of the 225, and you guys all know if a lineman, either on offense or defense, put up a lot of reps of the bench press, it normally means they have a pretty good overall, because the strength rating obviously correlated with bench press, and if you're a higher overall lineman, it means you probably have a pretty good strength rating. So Angelo Ortiz, who also has really good rating outside of pass block finesse, I mean, A impact, A lead block, B for pass block power, and run block. I have a feeling Angelo is about to be a monster, and Angelo is going to come in as the 14th ranked player. Got him at 35. I told you guys. Also, another one with hidden development. 3 for 3, fellas, and we're gonna keep on keeping on here with our second pick in the second round. Eventually, the Mickey Mouse run is gonna be over, but I'm doing this all the time, doing these drafts. I feel like I have a pretty good idea what players are good and what players aren't. Hopefully, we can at least get one more quality player here. I know we already acquired Cameron Kitchens to be our long-term free safety, but I also said here in the draft, we're gonna try and go best player available, and I think the best player available is gonna be one of these free safeties. The one that catches my eye here is old Ricky Winters with his A awareness, which is obviously very important for our players overall. I mean, pretty dang fast, dude. Ran a 4.42 40, ran the fastest 3 cone. And outside of his A awareness, dude, there is not a single scouted attribute that is under C. So again, man, I have a really good feeling that Ricky is about to be an absolute stud. Again, he'll be a backup free safety regardless, but I think he's gonna be a gem, boys. Here we go, 4 for 4. Draft 4 straight studs with hidden development, and Ricky's going to come in as the 19th ranked player, and we got him at 46. Dude, it's too easy, man. They're going to make drafting players and scouting players tougher. 92 speed at safety is incredible with hidden development, boys. The Mickey Mouse run continues. Surely I can't do it again in the third round, right? Which again, we have 2 more picks here in the first 10 selections of the third round. Like I mentioned earlier, boys, we are doing a very, very good job of setting the foundation for the future of this Bears franchise. I will say defensive tackle seems to be the most stacked position in almost every single draft. So there's probably like 3 or 4 guys left in this draft that's probably 72 rated or higher. So again, good thing to do here is try to see who's one of the strongest. We have Charleston King and this Danny Bruce guy who both put up 42 reps of the bench press. He's a projected day 3 player, but that doesn't mean anything. Let's see, does everything else check out? I mean, he also had a really good broad jump, which is crazy. Obviously not going to be the fastest in the world because he's 350 freaking pounds. I mean, everything else checks out, man. Not a single bad attribute on the board. A play rec, A tackle, B awareness. This is another one, boys. I'm telling you, I think he's going to be an absolute stud. Like, again, don't be surprised if this is a top 20 player, or maybe 25. I'll say top 25 player. Charleston King is going to come in as the 18th ranked player. I told you guys, this is too freaking easy. 94 strength, again, is a lot easier to, project the lineman than anything. But fellas, I will gladly take our 5th consecutive stud. Surely the Mickey Mouse streak doesn't continue here, right? We've gotten lucky enough. Now, running back is a position that I haven't looked at yet. Let's see who some of the fastest remaining at this point. We have Jerry Coates, Robert Allen, Will Boyle. I mean, like, all these guys are like day 3 undrafted free agents. Like, do I look at this Jerry Coates guy? I mean, he had the best 40, best 3-cone, best 20. I mean, he does kind of have some bad attributes in there. You know what, Jerry? If you're still there in like round 5, let's say, I'll look at you at that point. I only have 1 tight end on my entire roster, so hopefully one of these guys I can deem as draftable. Ooh, Enrique Santos here, the strongest tight end. Also had a top 5 vertical and a top 10 broad jump. Definitely looks like more of a run blocker, but we do have Colston Loveland. Like, I feel like he's a guy I can take a chance on. Please, Enrique, don't be my first bust. Not gonna lie, this is definitely my lowest confidence pick at this point, and he's coming not bad. Picked him 6 spots above his true value. Definitely not as good as our other picks at this point, but as long as, oh, that's nasty. Well, fellas, I guess at the end of the day, a stinker was gonna happen eventually. Oh, I forgot, we don't even have a 4th round pick. We don't pick until round 5, and that running back I referenced earlier, let's see if he's still there. If he is, I'm just gonna pull the trigger on him. Jerry Coates is still there, boys. So does that mean he sucks? Because I feel like if he was a gym, he would have got drafted at this point. I mean, even if he does suck, running a 4.31, by the way, which I just saw. I didn't even see his college pro day the first time. If I did, I probably would have took him there. Luckily, I didn't. He's still here in the 5th round. He just has some wishy-washy attributes, like good break tackle, good pass block, but terrible carrying, which is pretty important for a running back. 4.31 40 though. We take a shot on him. Jerry Coates, don't be a stinker. Roger out here still grinding in the 5th round. Jerry is going to come in as the 36th ranked player. I got him 100 spots above value. He does also come in with hidden development, dude. Oh my god, man. What a freaking stud. Definitely makes up for that last stinker. I'm not gonna lie, dude. This has got me pretty hyped. This has been an incredible draft. Time for my last pick of the draft here in the 6th round before we go see how good our draft actually was. See if we got any like 80 rated players maybe. And I'm not gonna lie, here around 6 is kind of like a shot in the dark or kind of just taking a guess. The best thing to normally do when you get this late in the draft is go to either defensive tackle or cornerback, which again are normally the most stacked positions in all of Madden draft classes. So again, if you sort by the strongest bench press, you have Danny Bruce still here. Already explained, guys, you got a good bench press normally means you're pretty good. And again, dude, you look at his attributes, nothing is bad at all. So I have a feeling he's gonna be a stud. If so, I told you guys I'm a genius. And if so, you guys feel free to use it in your franchise. Just see who reps the 225 a lot, you got yourself a stud, especially a defensive tackle, if this works. Is Danny Bruce a stud? Of course he is. Jesus, dude, I didn't expect top 30. Okay, it does make it a little depressing that he has normal development, but dude, you cannot be mad at drafting a player that is one of the best in the entire class in the 6th round. So with that, dude, I'm excited. I am so freaking excited to see how good that draft class truly was. And here we have it, boys. Your 2026 Chicago Bears draft class comes in as an absolute freaking banger, dude. Carlos Castillo, stud. Javier Angulo, stud. Angelo Ortiz, stud. We got 76 overall Ricky Winters, 76 overall Charleston King. Enrique was the biggest stinker, and coming in at 72 overall isn't even that bad. I mean, you put on a heater, dudes, when you get yourself a 74 and 75 in the 5th and 6th round. Talk about a generational draft class, boys, that will surely set this franchise up for years to come. And I'm not gonna lie, boys, this team is already looking pretty freaking good. Already up to an 86 overall with an 87 offense and 85 defense, and that's just the true overall. Nothing to do with the morale boost now. And actually, after converting these defensive ends around, we brought the overall up to an 87 across the board. Like, I'm not gonna lie, dude, this defense is looking pretty freaking nasty. The only thing that worries me is the running back position. If Tajay can develop, we could be unstoppable. But in simulation, man, if you don't have like a high 80s running back at least, you normally struggle, which is stupid. So like, I wouldn't wouldn't be surprised if you see Tajay with another sub 4 yard per carry season. Again, it's not his fault, just dumb game. And again, gonna try to put in the time and effort to try to make Caleb Williams at least a little bit better this training camp. Maybe even sneak in a little dev trade increase up to superstar. Gotta make sure we get gold here though. Oh, we got gold literally at the last second, dude. Come on, give me that superstar. If anything, he'll at least go up by 1 overall. And Caleb, after his training camp drill, is going to only go up by 1 overall. But again, we'll take everything that we can get at this point, up to an 87 now. So with that, let's go ahead and simulate the end of our second season, which is really just my first season as GM, as I finally had 1 full off season to work with this team. And even if we don't make the playoffs this season, I'm really hoping I set our team up for a chance to compete next year, which I hope so, because I hope we can take advantage of Caleb Williams on the cheap right now. Because with the cap space problems that we've already witnessed today, I can't imagine trying to build this team once we have to pay Caleb $1 million. Which unfortunately, fellas, we finished 9-8, which means we probably missed the playoffs by the skin of our shafts. Dude, it's even more of a heartbreaker than what I thought. If I'm not mistaken, we literally missed out on the playoffs because of a freaking tiebreaker. Yep, dude, we lost to them week 4 of the regular season, man. How freaking disappointing. We had so many one-loss games, man. Lost by a point to the Lions, lost by a point to the Giants. So we were literally 1 point away from making the playoffs. It doesn't help either that we finished the season off with a stinker, man. 3 losses in 4 games to end the season. So yeah, obviously disappointed, but if anything, man, this gives me hope for season number 3. Where at that point, dude, we might already be ready to compete for a Super Bowl. What in the world happened to our offense? At least our defense was still good, though. Yeah, Caleb went a little backwards here. Still efficient numbers, though. 4,000 yards, 29 touchdowns, 9 picks. Maybe I made a mistake trading away DJ Moore so soon? See, dude, my worries were validated. Tajay only 900 yards, only 3.7 yards per carry. So, like, if we're gonna eventually try and go all the way, dude, like, we might, even though he's an 86 overall, try and flip him for maybe a 90, 91, 92 rated back. Now, through the year, Roma Dunze once again with a massive season, 1,500 yards, 110 grabs, 12 touchdowns. Luther, another solid season. Javier, as a rookie, put up really good numbers. Colston Loveland taking a step forward. Now, defensively, do we have any sack gods? We had a tackle god in JOK. We actually had 3 players with 100 plus tackles, and unfortunately, yeah, dude, maybe trading away Montez Sweat was also a mistake because we didn't have a single player with over 10 sacks. Again, Caleb didn't receive any top 10 MVP votes, but yours truly got votes for Coach of the Year. That's funny. I think Roma Dunze finished top 5 in Offensive Player of the Year voting for a 2nd straight year. And what is Diami Brown doing, man, finishing top 4? Micah Parsons wins NFC Defensive Player of the Year for the 2nd straight season. Look at Javier finishing 3rd in Offensive Rookie of the Year. We also had Coates. I believe that's our backup running back, finished 10th. How about defense? We had Carlos Castillo win Defensive Rookie of the Year. Let's go. Interested to see how much this impacts his rating, which at this point, the most important thing here is to see how much our team truly progressed. I mean, even when you consider all the morale boost, improving up to a 91 overall team across the board is crazy. Caleb Williams up to an 89. Roma Dunze now to 92, I believe the highest rated player on our entire team. Got Angelo up to an 81, Luther Burden up to an 84. Colston Loveland, his first season as a full-time starter, up to an 83. Now have the entire offensive line above 81. You have that rookie running back who hasn't even had his dev trait revealed yet, up to a 79. Oh, you got Castillo, dude, all the way up to an 87. Then you had that defensive tackle up to an 80. Dude, we drafted him in the 6th round. Trey Amos up to an 86. So I am telling you guys, this team is on the verge of doing something special next season. Keep in mind, dude, this is a franchise that hasn't won a playoff game in 15 years at this point. So next bit of business, simulate past the Super Bowl and see if we get any dev trade increases. I have a sneaky suspicion that Castillo's immediately gonna go up to an X Factor. Which, fellas, after all the penalties cleared, we have $100 million to spend this offseason. So, yep, Super Bowl is definitely in our grasp. First bit of business, hopefully no bad news in the retirement department. Well, luckily we have money to replace them. Any dev trade increases? We had nothing on offense, unfortunately. A little depressing. What about defense? We had Castillo on cue up to X Factor. And to my complete shock as well, Jalen Johnson up to X Factor and Noah Sewell up to Superstar. He has got to be one of the lowest rated superstars at a 78th that I've ever seen. Not complaining though. Again, brother, you give me $100 million to improve this team and I'm telling you we're competing next year. Like, scratch that. 120 mil? We do have some extensions to negotiate, though. Ooh, Joe Alt, absolutely accepting his 5th-year option. Same thing with Roma Dunze, absolutely. Oh, God, same thing with Caleb Williams, too. So we're unfortunately going to have to extend all 3 of these guys at the same exact time. Unless we go ahead and win the Super Bowl before then. Whoa, a lot to take in. A lot to take in here, boys. I thought Tajay had another year left in his deal. Now, the thing is, I don't want to just lose him, but also, I feel like we need better. So what I'm thinking about doing is something scummy here, which I'm sorry, Tajay, you're going to get money out of it. I'm going to see if we can just sign him on a 1-year deal, which I will have to overpay for that to be the case. But if I can sign him on a 1-year contract, maybe I can ship him on in a deal still, which luckily, even though it was just a 1-year deal, he did accept. Now, let's go ahead and try to lock down Tremaine here. I mean, good thing he has interest. So let's give him a little 3-year deal. Hopefully he accepts, which he does. Now, these 3 might actually be a little bit tricky since they have no interest for some reason. Most importantly, Mr. Dexter Sr. here, 85 overall, young defensive tackle, which I really don't feel like we can afford to lose. Again, we can afford it. If he doesn't accept, we can always franchise tag him. Which, if worse comes to worse, at least we do have good defensive tackle depth. But, brother, let's just give you a very low-risk offer. Unfortunately, we're going to have to overpay big time, which is the difference of like $3 million a year in cap hit. But if we can lock him down long-term, that is all that matters. And he's coming back, which still leaves us with about $80 million to work with. Like Tyreek here, obviously, I want to re-sign him, but if he leaves, I won't be stressed out. I can just draft his replacement. He's not going to start for us anyway. So a little 3-year deal, up it just a little bit. And hey, he doesn't leave. He wants to win a Super Bowl too. And last but not least, the superstar himself, Mr. Noah Sewell. I mean, crazy it calls him a future starter when he's literally a superstar. You know what, Noah? I will give you a 5-year deal. I'll even up it a little bit, man. I'm not gonna lie, only paying a $5 million a year to a superstar seems like a cheap deal. But in that case, hopefully he accepts, which he does. So we literally were able to successfully extend every single target, which officially leaves us with a total of $71 million to work with in free agency. Not bad. Now let's see, boys, if we can spend this money wisely. Like, see what happened there to give us an extra $1 million. Doesn't make sense. Now let's see if we have ourselves a banger free agent class on our hands. Ooh, we have Zay Flowers. We have Rashee Rice. I was hoping for a stud running back, but all we have is Chase Brown, and that's not a slight on Chase Brown at all. He's just an 85 rated, which you would think is good, but according to Madden and simulation, it isn't. Like, we already have Tajay. I'm not gonna lie, boys, outside of that was kind of disappointing. Like, I'm not gonna waste money just to waste money. Like, no point in that nonsense. Now, what I will potentially do, though, because I do feel like it will help our team, because as we saw in our results from our offense last season, maybe the DJ Moore trade was a little expedited mistake. Maybe we bring in a Zay Flowers, because he is interested. I mean, he would join a wild wide receiver room. So let's give him what he wants and more. A 5-year deal. We can afford to up this a little bit. Nothing too crazy, though, which currently has us sitting, below the Texans and Falcons. So we got to up it a little bit, bringing that to $17 million a season, up to like a $12 million bonus. And there we are, tied for the best offer. I mean, I could also try to offer Rashee Rice, but like, I don't want to offer both of them. I feel like that's a little crazy. Really no good offensive lineman out there this offseason. Again, I'm just not going to just offer somebody to do it. Derek Hall could be decent, but we already have Carlos Castillo, man. Maybe since I have the money, I could sign some depth pieces potentially on like 1-year contracts. So maybe we could bring in Derek Hall just for next season. I mean, where's only offer? Okay, I do know that we desperately need a backup middle linebacker. Unfortunately, none of them are real young options. So maybe Shaq Thompson on a 1-year deal. And what about superstar Andrew Van Ginkel on a 1-year contract? He likes what he sees. So even though Zay Flowers is the only one really in the long-term plans, I feel like if we can land all 4, dude, we really could be cooking next season. So let's see it, brother. Moment of truth as we evaluate the offers. So Shaq, the only one still undecided. The other 3 all signed with your Chicago Bears, dude. That is massive. Zay Flowers, man. I feel like him and Caleb Williams is gonna make an incredible duo. Come on, join the crew, Shaquille. What took you so long? Dude, I'm excited, man. Get me to the freaking draft. And I'm not gonna lie, boys. I'm wondering if there's something crazy I should do before we even get into the draft. Like, what pick do I even have? I have pick number 17. You know what? Let's do something here. Let's go ahead and start the draft. And I'm might do something wild while we are on the clock. What I'm thinking here is see who wants to trade down with me. So we have the Broncos, we have the Browns, we have the Texans, and I'm not gonna lie, ooh, maybe the Seahawks here. Ooh, the Raiders. Now we're cooking, boys. Now we are cooking. So what I want to do here is do some investigation. If those teams really want to trade up with me, let's go engage how desperate they really are. And how I'm going to do that is take a player like Ken Walker and see if they're willing to swap him with me. Like, this is what I'm looking at here. A pick swap and Tajay Spears for Kenneth Walker. But the other one I was wanting to look at was Ashton Jeanty, dudes. Oh, he is up to a 99 overall. That's probably not going to happen. That's probably a little unrealistic at this point. But let's just see. Let's just see what they say. It's about halfway. But I didn't really want to have to trade anything else if I didn't have to. So let's try this. Let's try the Seahawks offer. So Tajay and a pick swap for Ken Walker, and it's in the orange, so a little bit closer here. The question is, what else would I be willing to trade away? I don't know where Will Shipley came from, but I wouldn't mind throwing him in there. Okay, as you guys saw earlier, Ozzy is a terrorist, so I also wouldn't mind shipping him on. But before I do anything, I just want to see if by chance if the Raiders are interested in him. Oh my God, is this going to work? Is this actually going to work, brother? I actually had no idea that they were interested, but I feel like it was all meant to be, boys. So Tajay, a pick swap, Will Shipley, and Ozzy the terrorist for 99 overall Ashton Jeanty. Is this going to be accepted? That didn't even budge. Like, what in the world? Like, now I want to actually try this, man. Like, now I actually want to see if this is a possibility, dude. It's a 99 overall running back. Like, do I part ways with my second? If this isn't bumping up at all, I'm just not gonna worry about it. I'm not gonna worry about it at all. Yeah, I mean, like, that's too much. But can this deal work with the Seahawks, though? I mean, I feel like this would be worth it, and it's in the yellow. So if from this point, if I have to trade away like a future second, would that be worth it? I mean, what is this? Like, me just dropping 6 spots? How about my third? How about my third round pick from this year? It's declined still, so I do think I have to part ways with my second, which isn't terrible because I keep a first. My second round pick added instead, and it's in the green, but we are getting somewhere. How about my fourth? Not quite enough. But instead, how about a third round pick way into the future? So Tajay, a pick swap, Will Shipley, Ozzy Trapilo, a second and a third for one of the best running backs at this point in Madden franchise. Please work, brother. I beg. It's still declined. Oh, God, dude. What if I made it a third round pick from this year instead? Still declined. Gosh dang it. Like, what do the Seahawks even want, dude? They need a center. And I do have Drew Dahlman, who has 1 year left on his contract that I could trade away. But what if I took out Shipley, threw him in instead, and they are interested, which I'm sure I could get a center replacement. He's only at 82 overall. I could find one way or another. If we're going to do this, let's check out the Jeanty deal once again. I mean, they're interested in both of these guys, dude. Like, I just don't know, though. I just don't know, but it's worth trying. And again, it's not bumping up at all. This has been a long time spent on this, boys, but I think it is absolutely freaking worth it if we can land a running back that could potentially win us a Super Bowl. Tajay, a pick swap, and 2 offensive linemen for Kenneth Walker. Oh, this is gross, dude. This is so gross. It's like a crappy, expensive player they have, like Josh Myers. What do you mean they're still in the negative? Oh, please. This is perfect. I beg. Hopefully these 2 players don't screw it up. Submit it through. Trade is still declined, but we are getting somewhere, boys. Now, if we threw in potentially that third round pick, is that enough to bring in Ken Walker? I don't even think that budged. So what if we did throw in the second round pick, moved a little bit more? So now if we do throw in the third round selection, trade finally accepted. Oh my God, dude, that was a long time coming, and I'm telling you guys, I promise you it's gonna be worth it. And we still have a first round pick here. Now, funny enough, let me see if there's any centers out there, because we do need a starting center now. We have Enrique Iglesias and Dion Reeves, and even if they're like a 72, 73 rated, like, he'll still start for us, so it'll still be worth it. I'm not gonna lie, my eye immediately went to Dion Reeves, although these kind of turned me off a little bit, but he has 2 A's off the rip. You know what? Let's see. Who repped 225 the most at their combine? It was Dion. so maybe he is the man. Dion Reeves, do I draft you? Are you gonna be my starting center replacement? He had a really good combine, dude. 3rd fastest center while he was the strongest, and that's a lot of A's, dude. A awareness, impact, lead, pass block, run block power. Dion could be a monster. Dion could actually be a perfect replacement, and this all could have worked to absolute perfection. Dion, don't let me down, brother. If you suck, I'm gonna be so disappointed. Here goes nothing. Good news, Roger. We need it. I mean, he looks happy. He looks like a stud. He swagged out that suit, man. Hopefully a shiny suit brings a shiny player, and Dion is going to come in as the 3rd ranked player in the draft class. And we got him at 23. Oh, dude, hidden development. The rich get richer, boys. Oh, dude, I'm so happy, man. I am so happy. Unfortunately, with us bringing in a superstar running back, we don't get to pick again until the 4th round. But you guys know me. I'm the draft guy, so we definitely can find ourselves a mid-round stud here. Like Cody Stern here. We need a young middle linebacker for depth reasons badly, and just because his last name, I think he's a stud. Decent combine, pretty fast for a Mike. Only has 1 bad rating that I see. I told you guys, you are in the presence. You are listening to the draft god, and we are going to hit on a player once again. Cody is going to come in. Oh, God, dude, as a stinker. Hey, he does have hidden dev, though, so at least that saves it a little bit. 91 speed is crazy as a middle linebacker. Hopefully, we can do better with our 5th round pick here. Gosh, dang it, dude. What's happened to me? Wait, did I just send it in the draft, dude? Like, what am I doing? Like, God, I'm putting up a stinker right now. I didn't mean to do that. To be fair, I was putting up a stinker, but let's see. At the end of the day, our draft comes in 81 overall, Dion Reeves. I'm not gonna lie, though, the rest of the draft sucked. But this guy made it totally worth it. Like, how insane, dude, we trade away an 82 rated center and immediately draft somebody almost better than him. So, fellas, I think we are ready to roll. I mean, boys, at the start of Season 3, we come in as a 92 overall with a 93 offense and 91 defense. There is no way that we're not the Super Bowl favorite this season, especially with Ken Walker coming to Chicago. I mean, look at this wide receiver room, dude. Caleb Williams should be putting up MVP numbers. And this defense is just euphoric, dude. Like, there's literally not a single weakness. I mean, our lowest rated player is a freaking superstar. So what we're gonna do from here is much like in season number 1. We're gonna start off this season by simulating to the trade deadline. And if we're having a good year, I might go out, make a few more trades, and try to make sure we win the whole gosh dang thing this season. Boys, we are undefeated. Oh, and I'm sitting here like all excited about this at the same time stressing out though, because there's 17 contracts we have to negotiate. Oh God, dude. Oh God. Oh God, it's just stressing me out. Let's focus on what matters right now first. Like, how did we get here? Like, have we had any close games? I mean, a touchdown game against the Lions, a 3-point win against the 49ers last week in San Francisco, but outside of that, dude, we've pretty much controlled every single football game. Offense doing pretty good, still not as good as the first year. Defense actually a little stinky. Caleb has thrown 22 touchdowns to 0 interceptions. Like, what am I looking at? I told you guys getting a good running back was going to be a massive addition. Like, it's stupid that you have to be like a 90 overall to average over 4 yards per carry. Like, it's dumb, but hey, it's Madden. Gotta work within the restraints. Rome is balling out, so is Luther and Zay Flowers. It just sucks young Buck Javier not get much playing time, but hey, brother, it's for the greater good. Anybody getting sacks this time around? It does look like the main man Carlos with 6, so on pace for about 12. JOK getting back there, but outside of that, kind of disappointed in my edge help. Landon Jackson's only got 1. I guess he's barely playing. But with us undefeated, boys, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I shouldn't do anything. Like, I feel like we should just rock with this team. Unless there's somebody on the trade block that I feel like could help us out, which DeAndre Swift, funny enough, is there, but we don't need them. Really, I don't think we need any of these guys. You know what? Is there any team having like a stinker season? If so, we might go try to poach some of their better players. You have the Browns are 0-7. Texans also having a stinker. I mean, obviously, those two teams would probably be selling at the deadline anyway. I mean, they still have Myles Garrett, dude. I just don't know how realistic that is. I mean, I guess we could try it and just see what they say. Like, again, I would not mind giving up a first-round pick, but unfortunately, our first-round pick is projected late first round pick. So yeah, I don't think they're gonna be too interested, which they are not. Like, come on, you could actually compete for a Super Bowl here, Miles. I mean, the Texans have Will Anderson, so would this be any closer? Not really. So is there anybody that's even realistic from the two teams? What about Carson Schweinsteiger? I mean, like, to be fair, you have Tremaine Edmonds, who's gonna start to go down in overall every season, and this would also be a pretty big upgrade up to an 87. So let's just see what like a straight up deal looks like. It's more than halfway. So holy crap. Could trade away Will Shipley. Also could trade away Tyler Scott. Let's see how much closer this makes it. It's in the green, dude. This is crazy. What is happening? Like, I think we might even be able to get away with next year's third round pick submitted through, and it's close. Throw in just a little bit of fentanyl, and with that, we have ourselves our brand new starting middle linebacker. Why are you not happy to be here, Carson? With the addition, boys, we're a 93 overall, 95 offense with a 92 defense. There's just absolutely no shot, no planet, especially with us starting 7-0, where we don't simulate here to the playoffs and end the season with the NFC's first round bye. You know what, boys? Let's go ahead and speak 17-0 into existence here. So we didn't go undefeated, but 14-3 is pretty nice. Like, how did we, after that magical season, lose to the Cardinals week 18? Ooh, ended up getting blown out by the Packers, lost by 1 to the Giants, and then we lost to the Cardinals. So let's just hope we don't have to play the Packers in the playoffs. Oh, which they did make it, gosh dang it. And if they win, there is a really good chance we do have to play them in the divisional. We finished the season with the league's 5th best offense, and defensively we were almost dead last? Huh? Caleb Williams, you sexy boy. 4,500 yards, 45 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions. Like, what do you mean QB of the future? I'm excited to go see what his overall is after all of this. Kenneth Walker, pretty solid numbers. 5 yards per carry, 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns. Rome Odunze, 25 receiving touchdowns. You crazy, crazy lad. Luther Burden, good year. Little disappointed Zay Flowers only put up a single touchdown, but hey, dude, production is production. Obviously worked out well for us. Pretty good numbers from Colston Loveland too. How about the defense? Carlos, literally our only player to get double-digit sacks. Like, why can't we get to the quarterback? No wonder our defense sucked. Did we have the league's MVP? Of course we did. Caleb Williams, in his 4th NFL season, wins NFL MVP. I told you guys I was gonna unlock his greatness. Chicago fans, you're welcome. Ooh, Rome robbed of Offensive Player of the Year. Like, how? Like, what did Puka do to win over a guy that had 25 touchdowns? And I swear, dude, Micah Parsons wins Defensive Player of the Year every freaking season. I do really want to go see, though, what in the world did Puka do? Okay, yeah, like 1,900 yards is a little crazy, but we got to do it, man. We put together an insane team. We won 14 games. Surely, this is finally got to be Chicago's year. I mean, the team is up to a 94 overall with a 96 offense, 93 defense. Looking across the team, dude, Caleb up to a 91 rated. Kenneth Walker up to a 97. Rome up to a 95. The entire offensive line's at least above 84. Defense looking nasty too, dude. Castillo tied as our highest rated defensive player at a 93, as is Jalen Johnson. I just don't get it. There's just no way this defense was one of the worst in the league. I just don't believe what Madden says. But first things first, we do need to see who we're taking on in the divisional round. Don't be the Packers. I beg, don't be the Packers. It's not the Packers, thank God. Packers lost, actually. Now all we have to do to make it to the NFC Championship is beat the 7 seed. And if I'm not mistaken, yeah, we beat the 49ers week 8 in San Francisco by 3. We should be able to take care of them at home here. Oh, here we go, brother. Most important button press of the video yet. 2 wins away from the Super Bowl. Now make that 1 win away from the Super Bowl. 38-35 though, by the skin of our shafts. Funny enough, if we win this, we might have to take on my Tennessee Titans. What a conflict of interest that would be. Why was this so close though? Into overtime, by the way. God, we were so close to losing our first playoff game. What a freaking quarterback duel here. 9 touchdowns thrown between the 2 of them. CMC still going off. Ken Walker, a little disappointed. We need better from you in the championship up here. Rome Odunze, you psycho. Like, what are these numbers, man? And our team let us down, not getting a lot of sacks in the regular season, but like at the end of the day, dude, defense is coming up big when we need them the most. I mean, I say that, not like they just gave up 35 points or anything. Now, please, can we let it all not be for naught? All we have to do now is beat the Rams, and your Chicago Bears are back in the Super Bowl after just 3 seasons of a rebuild, but at that point, we still have to win it, obviously. Oh, God, we can't make it this far and lose. Just can't let it happen. Oh, my God, we made it to the Super Bowl, and, like, I don't know how to feel about this. Before we get too deep in here, though, let's check out, oh, God, we won by 2 points. At least this one didn't go into overtime, but, man, like, it's too close. It's too freaking close. Caleb, decent game. Still not running the ball well in the playoffs. If we actually want to win the Super Bowl, gonna have to be better. What is happening, dude? Rome Odunze with his second consecutive 200-yard, multiple touchdown performance in the playoffs. Safe to say, he's been a pretty big part of making it this far. But God, man, can I really stomach beating my Titans? Like, this would be their first ever Super Bowl. I do have to see, though, how are things looking over here? Jeff Simmons looking like a beast. Cam Moore, this makes me happy. He obviously has turned into quite the monster. Well, they have Chase Brown. That's interesting. A stud tight end. Oladejo's turned into a beast. They have Zach Bond now. Very interesting wide receiver room, to say the least. But even though it's against my Titans, we have got to win this, dude. With all these players we have to re-sign, I don't know if we'd ever make it back. Even though it would break my Titans fan heart. Whether I'm the head coach of the Chicago Bears, we are winning this. Oh, God. The last 5 hours of my life comes down to a singular button press. Fast start here, please. Titans get a field goal, and we notch things up at 3. What's going on? Low score in Super Bowl. 13-6, though. Titans notch things up. Oh, no. Overtime? Oh, God. Did we win? Oh, what a crazy Super Bowl. 23-20. Third consecutive playoff game. We won by the skin of our shafts, brother. But we got it done in overtime. Both teams scored touchdowns, but who cares? We go down the field, kick a field goal, and Bears fans can officially smile again. Chicago, take it in, breathe it in, soak it in. Because I'm not going to lie, if you guys being a cursed franchise at all, you might not see this IRL for a really long time. Now that you witnessed me successfully rebuild a cursed NFL team, click right here to watch me rebuild the worst team